Education is about choice. Throughout history, people have made decisions about what children need to know in order to prepare them and equip them for their life as adults. What to include, what to leave out. Teachers and parents alike have tried to teach what is important. More recently, the government has tried to take on this role, telling schools what to teach and even how to teach it. The question is, of course, how do we make those decisions about what to include and what to leave out? How does the government and its advisors decide on those things? Ultimately, it's our view of the world that shapes what we teach. The answers to some of those big questions helps us decide what we want our children to learn. What's the purpose of life? What's wrong with the world and how can we fix it? It's the answers to these questions that mould our curriculum. And the answers to these questions all depend on our worldview. Every curriculum has answers to these big questions. In the Middle Ages, boys were taught that the world was flat and that Jerusalem was at the centre of the earth. In the 16th century, children were taught from ancient Greek and Roman writers because they were seen to be the fount of all knowledge. More recently, schools have been used as a mixing place for social and ethnic groups. And in the late 1990s, Tony Blair stated that education was his government's best economic policy. All of these approaches to education are underpinned by a worldview. Despite this, many people, including large numbers of Christians, still somehow think that our national curriculum is neutral in the answers that it gives to these big questions. This apparent neutrality means that they send their children to the local school safe in the knowledge that their children's faith will not be undermined by neutral schooling. And they, as parents, can then provide their children with worldview answers that are consistent with the Bible. This neutrality is a myth. Schools teach what the government and most teachers believe is important. They teach our children what they think they need to know in order to live lives to the full. And in this national curriculum, there's virtually no place for God. The God of creation is totally left out of science. The God of all time is omitted from history. The God of our world doesn't even get a mention in geography. This is not neutrality. This is a theological statement. If God exists at all, he is so unimportant, so insignificant, that he doesn't even merit a mention. This is practical atheism. And this is what our children are being taught.